Major Prime, good evening and thanks for being a part of today's edition of the news. Genda Belgian Blanche King is my name. Former fighters at the DDR Center in Boya were on the streets yesterday to demand for better treatment. According to them, they were protesting against what the term failed government promises to reintegrate them into the society. The ex-combatants say they have been neglected by the government since their arrival at the center and barely engaged into skillful activities. Clarice Ekowe covered the protests and compiled the following.
These are angry protesters from the Demobilization, Disarmament and Reintegration Center DDRC in Boya. They are protesting against government failed promise to reintegrate them into society. Created by President Biya on the 30th of November 2018, the DDRC centers were meant to welcome ex-separatist fighters in the Anglophone regions, as well as train them so they can gain skills to enable them reintegrate into society. However, to these protesting ex-fighters, some of them have spent close to 2 years at the center. Yet, they have no means of taking care of their families as they lack skills, one of the protesters unveils.
But the more we tell you, we don't move the money, we never move free. And the promise we say the move free for 7 months, 6-7 months, you don't pass. We don't make 1 year for months, we never move free. And I want to see a strike to be today so. Because don't stay long. Because don't be for more than a year, because more than 1 year, 6 months, and 1 year, 8 months, you don't come out.
At Press R, the road linking Long Street to Bokwango in Boya was blocked as a means to express their discontent towards government. The ex-separatist fighters used stones, sticks, tires and blocks to block the road. The public display to them was to tell the powers that be that it is time to put things in order.
I say we want come on, go strong for life, of live a life. We don't be for years so, for years with me life for years. They are away from the outside, they cry. So they so when they get off to give them. So when I put because woman don't live me, I been at the sofa, so outside with. So I crowd the cry that's all.
The situation drew the attention of administrative officials of the region, including the Secretary General at the Southwest Governor's Office, Dr. Muhammadu, and the DO for Boya, Abba Abdurrahman, who answered present at the scene to call on the protesters to reason. Elements of the Defense and Security Forces also answered present to maintain calm.
Resolutions have been taken by the chief and population of Bonamusango following the bomb explosion last Sunday, which claimed the life of at least one person. Let's join Gladys Bomotongi now for details of these resolutions in the French language.
Suite à l'explosion de bombes artisanales observée dimanche dernier au quartier Bonamusango, derrière l'école du peuple Biponda, ayant causé un blessé grave et un mort, dont les manipulateurs de la bombe en question, le chef de cette localité, Sa Majesté Makwa Ambroise, a organisé une réunion à laquelle étaient conviés les différents chefs de bloc, les chefs de famille et les parents, question de discuter de ce sujet.
Soit c'était pour voir ce qui se passe dans notre quartier Bonamusango. Ça, c'était le but de cette réunion. Et ensemble avec la population de Bonamusango, nous allons accepter dans cette réunion de descendre sur le terrain, de vérifier si ce n'est que ici derrière, bloc 20, ou ça se trouve dans les autres blocs. Nous sommes acceptés avec tous les chefs de bloc, avec la sécurité du quartier Bonamusango, que nous allons travailler main dans la main pour empêcher, pour l'aider, les forces de l'ordre commandant de terre de Ndungue, pour qu'ensemble, désormais, nous allons travailler ensemble pour empêcher les enfants qui sont en train de préparer cette bombe qui n'est pas tout à fait normale dans notre pays.
Plusieurs autres problèmes ont été soulevés pendant la dite rencontre, à savoir celui des viols, d'agressions et de vente illicite de drogue. À cet effet, des résolutions ont été prises. Ils sont tombés d'accord pour la mise sur pied d'un comité de vigilance, de l'identification des bailleurs de tous les locataires, de la promptitude des parents à dénoncer leurs enfants délinquants et ou de veiller à leur rééducation. Une belle approche qui nécessairement portera de bons fruits à la fin.
The United Nations Development Programme UNDP has donated some equipment to 300 youths in Cameroon to help mitigate the effect of COVID-19 in the country. The official ceremony for the delivery of the equipment took place today in Douala. Lasha Kinsley covered the ceremony to hand over the equipment. He compiled the following.
The United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, has donated equipment worth over 63 million francs CFA to some 300 young and women entrepreneurs selected from the cities of Douala, Bafoussam, Yaoundé, Buea and Bamenda. The official ceremony for the delivery of the equipment took place today in Douala under the watchful eyes of the Secretary General at the Littoral Governor's Office, Aboubakari Haman Choutou.
The normal evolution of the cooperation between PNID and the Republic of Cameroon. I would like here to seize this occasion to thank the PNID for all what they are doing to accompany the government, the Cameroon government, in the direction of development. I would like also to say to our youth who have received this gift to make sure that they are doing it well, to permit other youth who has not chance to receive this gift to receive them next time.
The equipment to help mitigate the impact of COVID-19 did not only target young women entrepreneurs but also persons living with disabilities. Maru Florence, one of the recipients, is a person living with disabilities.
It is a feeling of satisfaction to have displayed that persons living with disability like myself just go a long way to prove that we are moving towards an inclusive society. The great we can retain here today is that UNDP did not only think about young women but also about minority group.
The equipment, according to UNDP officials, are adapted to meet the needs of the women selected.
The impact was around their productivities. A lot of them were not able to produce, and even those who were able to produce, because of the closing of the border, some of them were not able to send out their products, to go to the markets, or even to go in neighboring country to sell it. So at the end of the day, the impact was first on the production, but on the transformation, on the commercialization.
The program to select some youths was launched online on October 27, 2020 by UNDP in collaboration with some key ministries in Cameroon, such as Youth Affairs and Civic Education, small and medium-sized enterprises, just to name these few. The project ended up with the selection of 500 best projects.
A project to install a CFCI treatment chain for household refuse in Lendi will soon be opened. The mayor, head of district and president of ASER with his team held a meeting to present the project and its advantages to the people. Gladys Bomotongina has details in the French language.
Une importante séance de travail s'est tenue hier, 1er février 2021, dans la salle de réunion de la mairie de la commune d'arrondissement de Douala 5e, avec le président de l'association camerounaise pour les énergies renouvelables, ASER, par ailleurs représentant de la CFCI. Le chef de cette localité est présidé par le maire, M. Richard Fongouan, où il était question de présenter une description sommaire du matériel à installer dans le cadre de la mise en place d'une chaîne de traitement CFCI pour ordures ménagers. Suite à cela, le maire a présenté le bien fondé de ce projet.
Le bien fondé de ce projet est multiforme. Ce projet va d'abord venir mettre de l'ordre dans la collecte des déchets. On ne trouvera plus de déchets dans Douala 5e et ça va créer de l'emploi, des emplois directs et indirects. Et nos jeunes pourront trouver de quoi faire. Et puis, ça mettra de l'ordre dans notre collaboration. Et c'est un projet, si vous regardez mon projet de campagne, il est déjà prévu à l'intérieur, la collecte des produits ménagers.
Ayant grandi dans cette localité, le président d'ACER évoque les raisons sur le choix du site.
Cet investissement s'élève à 50 millions d'euros. Nous avons choisi Douala 5e parce que Douala 5e est éligible aux critères, n'est-ce pas, de la mise en place de cette unité de traitement des déchets ménagers. Le premier critère, c'est quoi? Douala 5e est capable de fournir 500 tonnes de déchets par jour. Voilà, le deuxième critère, c'est, voilà, vous voyez le site, nous sommes sur un site énorme. C'est très énorme le site, voilà.
Le projet de 18 mois de lundi B, faisons la fierté du chef du village qui ne manque pas de faire l'emphase sur sa faisabilité en présentant l'étendue sur lequel cela sera réalisé.
La superficie de cet espace actuellement est de 338 et est susceptible d'être revue à la hausse. Pour le projet, je crois qu'il n'y a pas meilleur endroit dans toute la ville de Douala. Parce que en termes de logement, on peut tabler sur au moins 10 000 logements dans un futur très proche. Et en produisant de l'électricité pour cette population, je crois qu'il n'y a pas meilleur client.
Une nouvelle porte s'ouvre donc pour le traitement des ordures au Cameroun et le profit des énergies renouvelables ou encore énergie verte.
Captain of the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, Samuel Etofis, was in the East region on invitation of the mayor of Bertois too. During his visit, he met with members of the East Regional Football Leagues as well as encouraged the youths of the town or municipality. Jean Didier tells us more in the report that follows.
Et dans le cadre de ses activités dans la région de l'Est, le goléador camerounais Samuel Etofis a foulé pour la première fois le sol de Bertois, la capitale régionale. Invité par le maire de Bertois II pour parler des affaires de football, le Pititi est allé rendre visite aux élèves du lycée bilingue de Bertois afin de les galvaniser dans leurs études pour faire des citoyens modèles pour la nation. Accueilli au perron par le proviseur du lycée et tout son staff, l'ancien numéro 9 patriote a, comme l'ensemble des Camerounais, honoré le drapeau vert rouge jaune à travers l'hymne national exécuté par les élèves du lycée bilingue de Bertois. Puis, un bref échange avec le chef d'établissement qui lui remettra un cadeau symbolique représentant les 4 aires culturelles du pays.
Ce matin, à environ 8 heures, le maire m'a informé qu'il devait venir ici encourager ses petits frères et petites sœurs pour travailler dur pour réussir dans la vie. C'est à cause de ça qu'il est venu. Il a vraiment encouragé les autres. Il est comme un exemple de réussite. Pour quelqu'un qui a commencé à rien pour être là-bas en haut, donc il voulait encourager, il a vraiment encouragé ces jeunes frères de travail très dur, de mettre les bons exemples par les mauvais exemples, de laisser les choses comme les drogues, la prostitution et tout.
L'ancien capitaine des Lions indomptables, après avoir signé le livre d'or du lycée, marquant son passage dans cet établissement, s'adressera à ses petits frères.
J'avais pris la décision d'aller me battre dans des autres trous avec les meilleurs joueurs au monde. C'était un contre les jeux où je n'étais même pas accordé. Mais le grand frère que je suis est un grand rêveur. Je n'ai jamais eu froid aux yeux. J'ai toujours pensé que peu importe d'où on vient, si on a le talent, si on a envie de changer les choses, tout est possible. Alors, je suis allé de l'autre côté avec ce beau rêve.
Après cette visite éclair, le cortège du Pititi mettra le cap à la mairie de Bertois 2 pour la séance de travail avec les membres de la Ligue régionale de football de l'Est. Notons que Samuel Etofis sera fait citoyen d'honneur par le maire de la ville de Bertois.
Minister of Territorial Administration Paul Atanganji has planted a marker at the Chang accident scene in the West region of the country. The marker will serve as a guide for road users plying that road to be careful. He planted this marker during a condolence visit to the affected families. He was bearer of the head of state's condolence message to the families who are mourning loved ones who died during the accident. From Quinta with details.
As death toll of the January 27 accident in Menwa, West region of Cameroon rises from 53 to 55. As of this day, February 2nd, 2021, Territorial Administration Minister Paul Athanganji yesterday visited the accident scene to extend the head of state's message of condolences to the affected families.
We have come here today after this sad situation to express our sadness. Because when this accident occurred, immediately we informed the head of state, President Paul Biya, who immediately, in his compassion, sent a message of condolences to the bereaved families, and at the same time sent a message of quick recovery for those wounded who were still in the hospital. Initially, when the accident occurred, the governor gave us the first statistics that 52 people died. But as time went on, we realized that we have gone from 52 to 55.
Being the third minister to visit the accident scene after the Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Celestine Kecha-Cortes, and Transport Minister Jean-Ernest Ngale-Bibehe, Mr. Athanganji placed a commemorative marker at the accident scene.
It is a sign of sadness because people will ever remember that here we lost 55 lives.
According to Territorial Administration Minister, the commemorative plaque at the accident scene is a call for road users to be responsible on the highway to avoid such accidents.
It is important for us to sensitize the population that because of carelessness, we can have things like this to occur. 55 people who died after the 37 or 39 who died in Dikimiki, and after those who died in other places, in the same circumstances. It means that more than ever, we should remember that because of carelessness, we are putting the lives of others in danger. So more than ever, we have to be responsible in the way we handle issues.
While in the region, Minister Athanganji's visit to the West region comes after Transport Minister Jean-Ernest Ngale-Bibehe, who has been in the region since January 31, 2021. While in the region, Minister Ngale-Bibehe visited survivors currently receiving treatment at the Chang District Hospital and Bafoussam Regional Hospital, while he met with stakeholders of the transport sector to address issues concerning the road.
Obang's sons and daughters living in Kumba have promised to foster development in the Obang clan in Manu division. They were speaking in Kumba recently during celebrations to mark the end of the old year and the beginning of a new year, as our reporter Tamfu Sidwan Dimbie tells us in the following report.
These are sons and daughters from the Obang clan in Manu division of the Southwest region. On Sunday, they came together in what they describe as end-of-year party under the name Obang Cultural and Development Association with its president, Chief Owona Tabe. The leader told My Media Prime Television that the objectives of the association are to push development back in the Obang clan, instill love and also develop the interest in preserving their rich cultural heritage.
Yeah, the Urban Cultural and Development Association the abbreviation speaks for itself. We encourage the urban people that are found within this environment, Okay. We encourage them to come. We come together and then see how we can foster development activities in our area where we come from, the Obang clan.
He also expressed disappointment that there are so many Obang people living in Kumba but reluctant to attend meetings. He then called on them to join the train in order to foster the development of Obang community in Manu division.
I'm really with a heavy heart to see that Obang people are residing in this town Kumba and they don't have the mind to come and join their parents. I'm using this medium to appeal to them that they should do everything possible to come so that together we can be stronger than whatever we are now.
Other members of the association equally highlighted the need to always come together for the promotion of development, love and unity amongst the sons, daughters and relatives of the Oban clan.
The purpose is really to gather the people from Oban to stay together and live as one person, because our culture shows that we are people who live together and we do things together.
So how do we are own people then? When something happens for you, the people will be for your side.
Okay.
Togetherness, then we be the best.
And we cannot be living in another man's place and we don't have an association.
The ceremony was graced by cultural animation while a message of peace was re-echoed.
You're watching for 6:30 Prime News on My Major Prime. Out of the country, President Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa has announced that some COVID-19 restrictions will be uplifted following a reduction in COVID-19 cases recorded in the country recently. The country most affected in Africa has negotiated access to more than 50 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine, which will be administered to 40 million people, two-thirds of the country's population. Details of these and more up ahead in the full report.
Beaches in South Africa will soon reopen and limited religious gatherings will be allowed, though the country will remain in what is termed a level 3 lockdown. Curfew hours will now be from 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. In addition, 50 people can now worship indoors and 100 people outdoors. According to President Cyril Ramaphosa, the peak of the second wave of the coronavirus has passed and infection rate is reducing steadily, and these changes have been made possible by the significant reduction in COVID-19 hospital admissions across all provinces, reducing the pressure on hospital personnel. The government equally announced the country has negotiated access to more than 50 million doses of the vaccine and has set a target of inoculating two-thirds of the population this year. 1 million doses will be given to health workers, although no date has been set. South Africa has recorded the most COVID-19 cases and deaths in Africa and has faced 3 alcohol bans since the pandemic hit the country in March 2020. Zimbabwean opposition activists and the member of parliament have been arrested for using abusive and obscene language against police officers. According to police, the said trio had been arrested after holding a demonstration outside a government building in Harare. Joanna Mamombe, Netsia Marova and Cecilia Chimbri followed a police vehicle with officers who had attended the scene and used abusive language on the officers, leading to their arrest. The 3 members were first arrested last June for claims of being tortured and sexually assaulted in custody, claims denied by the police, though United Nations experts called for the prosecution of perpetrators. United States Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, has advised against all travel to Tanzania. CDC warned that the transmission rate of COVID-19 in the country is rising rapidly, though Tanzania last shared data on COVID-19 in May 2020 when President John Magufuli declared victory over the virus. The latest cases of which he blamed on travelers bringing it into the country. 41 African countries have been listed in level 4, the highest category of alert, warning all travelers to stay alert and reduce the chances of contamination and spreading the virus, urging Tanzania to consider inoculating its population. Though Tanzania Health Minister Dorothy Chwandima said Tanzania has no plans to import COVID-19 vaccines and citizens will have to use traditional medicine, including steam inhalation, as a way of dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic.
And now we talk sports. The Court of Arbitration for Sports has overturned FIFA's 5-year ban on CAF President Ahmad Ahmad. By this decision, Ahmad Ahmad is still president of CAF. Let's listen to a top content in the French language.
La décision du tribunal arbitral était rendue avant la réunion du comité de gestion de la CAF et celui d'examen de la FIFA la semaine dernière pour discuter de l'éligibilité des candidats. Ahmad Ahmad serait valide à la présidentielle de la CAF prévue pour le 12 mars prochain. Suspendu à la tête de la Confédération africaine de football par la FIFA en novembre dernier pour 5 ans, le Malgache est rétabli dans ses fonctions de président suite à une décision du tribunal arbitral du sport rendue vendredi dernier. En rappel, cette suspension d'Ahmad était intervenue après que la FIFA avait constaté qu'il avait violé plusieurs de ses lois éthiques. Le président réhabilité va maintenant reprendre son rôle de vice-président de la FIFA. Par ailleurs, il a remercié Constant Omari d'avoir assuré l'intérim ces dernières semaines. Il a réussi avec bravoure la mise en implémentation de la CHAN Total 2020. Constant Omari a convoqué le comité d'urgence de la FIFA pour une réunion par visioconférence dimanche dernier et a pris acte de la décision de la TAS liée à sa candidature à la présidence de la CAF. Cette semaine, 4 autres candidats ont été autorisés à se présenter aux élections pour diriger la CAF. Il s'agit de Jacques Anouma de la Côte d'Ivoire, Patrice Moutepe, sud-africain, Augustin Senghor, sénégalais, et Ahmed Yaya de la Mauritanie. Pour le cas d'Ahmad Ahmad lié à son éligibilité, la TAS rendra son verdict avant le jour des élections, le 12 mars, après avoir étudié son appel dans son intégralité le 2 mars.
Thanks, Etape Konteng. Meantime, the Intermediate Lions are ready in Limbe South-West region of the country ahead of tomorrow's semi-final match against Morocco. We've come to the end of today's edition of our Prime News on My Major Prime. Thanks for being with us. See you tomorrow at 6:30 for another edition of Prime News on My Major Prime. The news was produced by Ewane Airline Olinga, coordinated by Lasha Kingsley. My name is Gienda Pelgian Blanche King. Stay tuned to My Major Prime. Enjoy today's edition of Prime Hour with Kum Leonard. Happy viewing. Good night.